What's going on, guys? BladeZilla here, and today we're taking a look at these bad boys. Sister company to Custom Knife Factory called Echo. These are the Trol. T-R-O-L. So I don't know if there's a pronunciation thing there that I'm completely lacking, but I'm going to call them the Trol. Super cool. You know, Custom Knife Factory is typically known for the I'd say mid to high-end production knife, and you know, why not come out with something with G10 with standard steel, like a standard super steel, and you know, put it together in a package that's super well priced and competitive with kind of the entry-level market. So you know, I think we've got a super cool pair of knives to talk about here today, and ones that I think I might nab one of these and turn them into one of my users for a little bit here to see how I like them, because the price point is just so ridiculous on these that it's hard not to. So let's get started on these and talk about a pair of super cool knives that I'm pretty excited to chat about. As a reminder, BladeZilla.ca is where a lot of the knives featured on this channel are available. There's a link down below in the description, but that's me. I'm in Canada. And a lot of cool stuff up on the website. Got a couple new SOCONs in, Shiro jeans, some Microtechs, you name it, BladeZilla.ca. And nice little free shout out, but if you do want super high level specific detail on these knives, I'm not the guy for that. I'm here to show you the knife, talk about it, have a beer with you, have a coffee if it's the morning, and you know, just chill. So it might be a bit longer a video today because I have two knives, but hopefully it's not too long because, well, let's be honest, there's not a whole lot to talk about here for like half an hour. But cool knives. So currently, let's talk about Echo. So don't know much about the brand other than it's a sister company to CKF, to the point where even the pouches the knives come with should look very familiar to you guys. If you guys have bought CKF knives in the past, it is the identical carry pouch that it comes with. There is something absent though in the bag. There's no spare parts or COA. So normally you get a card like on the Evo 4s, Evo 3s, etc. You get a little card inside and you get a spare parts bag with some bearings and some pivot hardware. All of that is absent. It is literally a pouch with knife and a... Actually, it comes with one of these as well. Little cloth. So instead of the red CKF cloth, you get this little EC logo, Echo, I guess. Kind of a reverberating logo. That's kind of cool. But anyway, that's what it kind of comes with, which should look familiar. But I'm going to put the green away for now and talk more about the black one because the camera freaks out when I have two different colors. And actually, as I'm filming this, it is pouring rain outside. So I apologize if you hear a bunch of sound or if all of a sudden the coloring changes, because I do have an auto color, auto white balance on, and it kind of changes around sometimes as the window kind of changes. But anyway, let's talk about this. So black G10, super cool knife. Let's take a look at that. How sick is that thing, guys? Pretty standard, so I think it's a 3.5 inch blade, which, you know what, why don't we actually measure that while it's out like this. But I think it's 3.5 inches, at least it appears to be. Let's take a look. So we're coming in at 8 1/4 overall length, so pretty standard EDC size. And yeah, sharpened 3.5. And I think this is S35 VN steel. Handle is 4.5, maybe 4 5/8, depending on how sharp your eyes are or how squinty one of your eyes are, left or right. But S35, so essentially, like, I think they're trying to get into that kind of Benchmade space, right? Where a lot of the S35 is being used. G10, super solid, but then we've got all this milling on here. Some good centering. I'm assuming it's on bearings because it's silky smooth instead of phosphor bronze. We've got a G10 backspacer as well. Hopefully you can see that, which is nice. It kind of fills out the design. I don't know whose design this actually is, but Yeah, G10 all around on bearings. Blade stock looks to be about 3 mils, maybe 3.5, with some nice kind of overall, like it just fits the hand really well. Jimping on top matches kind of the overall profile of the rest of the knife here, as you can kind of see on the top. Same design, which is nice. And then as it kind of goes back down to the hardware as well, or sorry, the backspacer, same thing. Kind of the pattern there, which is good because it kind of nestles itself nicely in your hand. In terms of me, I'm extra large glove hand, and I've got room for about a half finger on here, which is perfect for a good EDC size. I can go down the blade as well, nothing too crazy, but it's got a nice stone wash to it. I don't know how well the camera is going to pick that up, but it's got a nice, real consistent stone wash on that blade. It is a flat grind. And I think, can we see, they are numbered. Look at that. Is the other one numbered, or is that a batch? Yeah, we do have a number on there. So I don't know why they're, maybe, I don't know what that number means, but we got an S35 on there, -86, S35 VN maybe it's 65 or 86, one of the two. And then this one, what do we got here? S35 VN-26. So I don't know what that number means. I'm assuming it's a serial, but since there's no COA, I'm guessing there's they're not just, you know, it's an area they can save some money. Feels super smooth. But yeah, that blade finish is next level. That's a blade finish to me that is not on a $200 knife. It's probably that of double, I would say. And just solid, like super solid. I'm curious, because they're doing G10, I'm curious if they'll dip into titanium or maybe even aluminum. Don't see a lot of aluminum in CKF knives, so G10 is obviously the budget end, so maybe we'll see that bridge to aluminum. On the other end, we have got kind of a wire clip, which, you know, that's kind of what you get at this price point. You're not going to get a 3D milled titanium clip, you're going to get a wire clip. You know, easily attachable, you can remove it, etc. Pretty good. Pretty simple, good tension. The hardware, you know, in my opinion, is a little bit small. I would like to see a Torx a bit bigger in there. Maybe like looks like a T6. I'd like to see 8 and up. And then throughout on the rest of the handle here, we got some, looks like almost like, geez, like tinier than that. Same with on the little clip there. On the inside, surprisingly, we have some level of skeletonization to the inside of the G10 because they are two pretty thick slabs, I'd say. But there is some weight reduction on the inside. I don't know how that's done, if it's milled out or if it's just kind of stamped that way or what the deal is, but there is some weight savings inside. We will get to the weight. I want to check the balance. Balance is perfect, right behind the pivot. Honestly, I think they are going to sell an absolute pile of these. I really do. Liner lock looks to be a steel lock bar. I can't really tell. One detach. So the ball does pop out, as you can kind of see. You can kind of see right there. A lot of factory oil on this particular one. I did actually have to clean this out of the box, so they are putting lots of oil on it, like nano oil or something. You see the bearings are inside there. That's cool. One of these days, maybe I'll open one of these guys up and see what's going on inside, because that would be interesting. But real smooth action. It's probably in the 4.5 ounce range. So let's get a weigh on this guy. I can't see why it would be 3.5, but I'm guessing 4 plus, 4.8, 4.7. So somewhere between 4.8 and 4.7. Let's grab the green one too. 4.7. So they're consistent. You'd think they would be. I don't know if these knives are hand ground or machine, but let's be honest, at this price point, I can only assume that they're going to be machine ground, which is perfectly reasonable. Switching back to the green, obviously, to take a look. I do like this little, so that's going to be some kind of steel inside that they're using. I don't know what they're using for that liner lock, but I like how that black material splits the two slabs, and that's how they're mounting that liner lock. That's cool how it shows on the green. It's a nice little detail. Silky smooth. You can see that black liner on both sides. You know, I would say the lock bar, it's a little, it seems to be like stamped versus like, you know, heavily milled. So I do notice, like, I could see how some would say it's not sharp, but it's, well, maybe it's just a little tight, I guess. But it does feel like a bevel would be a lot better there. But they've just kind of cut an angle in instead of giving you a full bevel. So I could see that being, you know, at this price point, are you going to complain about it? You know, for them to do that, I'm sure it's another $50. But I could see someone complaining and saying it's a little sharp there. Let me grab the other one. They both have the same kind of finish to that area, which is cool. Yeah, I'd love to know what steel that is. And I also want to see how they mount that liner inside. So we got 1, 2 on the back spacer. I like the dummy pivot on the front too. Looks sharp. Or sorry, the cover. I don't know if it's captive or not, but that's cool. A really solid, like, I'm blown away that they're able to do this. And this, I don't know how they're able to do this, but it seems to be kind of trendy that they're starting to do this, because who was it the other day? Was it Riet? I think Riet launched a line with G10 in that, you know, $150 range that has been doing really, really well. And this would be in that same price point kind of range. And it's like, look, you're getting S35, you're not getting 45, you're not getting M390, you're not getting Magna Cut, but S35 is no slouch. It's a great steel, you know. You're not going to complain about that. And you're getting G10, you're not getting polymer, you're getting G10, right? If you look at some of the comparable, even Microtechs, to go into the G10 range, you're 200 plus, easy. You're usually 300 US. So you're getting G10 plus bearings plus S35 plus it's a flipper, which everyone loves flippers. We haven't even talked about that. No inlays, nothing pressed, just simple. We've got a nice lanyard hole in the back as well. I didn't even talk about that. Kind of gives me vibes a little bit of the Stellar. With that hole, you can see right through. That blade doesn't get in the way. Tight tolerances, but still lots of room to get pocket lint in there if you need, and you're not going to have any problems. In terms of the flipper, let's take a look here. Yeah, nice and smooth, no issues. It is forward of the pivot, which is good. Nice and you know, they've done a good job of like really tidying that area up too. No heavy hot spots, nothing like that. Just nice and smooth. This is an absolute winner. I'm literally gonna stop filming this video at some point here, and I'm gonna order like a ton of these because I think they're gonna do really well. It's just a ridiculously good price point, and I think the knife is severely underpriced for what you're getting. And you can probably beat on these things and not worry too much about it. I do want to know what the hardware is made of, if that's going to be, you know, its weak point, because, you know, when we have a really small Torx bit like that, and say it's like a high brittle steel, like metal, like say it's aluminum or something, that could be a weak point if you strip it out and use the wrong bit in there, or if you shove an Allen key in there or something. People do that kind of stuff sometimes. But just the design pattern is very, very Russian, with that milling along the top. It's matched on the bottom. So you get some contouring down the middle. You get this strip that's all flat on both sides. Once again, contouring up top, contouring down low. All the beveling around the G10 on the handle. Really, really nicely done. This is the kind of spot I'd probably want to take a macro photo of and show off, because it just looks really well done. Yeah, this, you know what, like, if you're not into CKF, or if you're not, have never experienced CKF, like I'm telling you right now, you get a lot of their craftsmanship in this knife at a price point that's a third of the price, or in some cases a quarter of the price. As a user, I think this is going to be a killer knife. Absolutely killer. Let's grab that green one more time, just kind of show some more of that. Let's see if we're all kind of consistent throughout. The Echo logo is definitely more pronounced on the black. I don't know if you can see the difference there, but it doesn't pop quite as much on the green. I don't know if they're calling it green or olive or what. I would just call it green G10. It doesn't pop quite as much, which is good. I do like that they've taken that off the blade as well and put it on the handle. G10 doesn't scratch, as you know, in your pocket with your keys and stuff. It's not going to get all beat up, which is awesome. But once again, you know, same kind of design, right? It's the same knife. So all the beveling looks really, really nicely done. Perfectly center, perfectly smooth. And then the treat, or I guess the Easter egg on this is that black back spacer. Can I call it that? I just think that looks really good. And I'm not normally a big green guy, but I really like this. I'd be curious to see if they start doing some other colors of this. You know, notably I'd like to see a blue. But I think that's a sharp looking knife. A real sharp looking knife. I'm very impressed with this. And I don't know, I haven't, let's take a look at the blade on this one as well to see if it's consistent. Same stonewash. Oh yeah. Very consistent. Other side, let's take a look. Beautiful. Yeah. You know, I think I've talked about this in the past. I personally use a Benchmade bug out or a tactile for opening all my boxes, and one of these could easily take that on. Super smooth action. I just love flippers. That's what got me into this hobby in the first place, is flippers, and just a really smooth, consistent, well-made knife. Firm action. Solid detent. Absolutely gorgeous. I think you're looking at two very popular knives. Personally, I think that I don't know how these don't do well, and I think they're going to make a great addition to anyone who's looking for an import flipper. That like I said, I don't know anything about the brand other than it's the sister to CKF. I don't know where they're made. I'm assuming they're assembled in Russia, parts from international, and that's the only way you get the price point at that. I have not seen an export certificate on it, but they look great. So anyway, I'll leave you guys there. Check out BladeZilla.ca. I'm going to list these guys and probably order a stack of each to bring in. I don't know when this video is going to be up, but hopefully soon. And hopefully other people are kind of feeling the same way about this knife than I am, because I think these are going to be an absolute home run, without a doubt. Because they feel like a CKF at a price point with a third of the price, which is awesome. And it's G10, so you can beat on it. Has 35, super easy steel to sharpen and maintain, and it's just a good balance. So there we go. All right, guys, have yourself a great week, and we will talk to you later. Peace.